Hello, and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your Daily Bite of Degen, episode number 689, coming to you live from somewhere, nowhere, Belgium. ETC week is over. We are with Wayne the Man from Theo. GM, man.
Hey, Taco GM. Glad to be here, man.
Glad to be here. How are you doing today?
Good. Just a long week.
It has been a long week. Been here since last Friday, so 8 days. You?
I came in Saturday.
Okay. All right. So a week on the nose. Man, ETC was an amazing week here. How many events did you go to?
Probably not as many as you, but I would say, there was definitely a ton of side events. At least 20, I'd say. But I spent quite a bit of time at the conference too. So
yeah. The conference was the main hub for a lot of everything. It was really good to see. And with over, so you went to 20 events, but how many did you sign up for?
Oh, a lot more than 20.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just logistically you can't make them up.
Yeah. You wish you could, because there's so many different amazing things going on that you see that you're just like, why can't you all just be in like the same room? Right. Why do you got to go to the opposite sides of town? Brussels is huge.
Yeah.
A lot bigger than I was thinking. And maybe I'm just other European cities that are tiny little, but Brussels is pretty big.
Yeah.
So what was some of the big takeaways?
A lot of great networking. A lot of people still building in a space. There was very little talk. That's what I always love about these conferences. It's always about what we're building instead of talk about the market, really.
Yeah.
We know where this thing's going long term, and it's refreshing to see, because at these events you catch up with people that you're maybe in the process of working with, and just the connections. Networking has been the biggest thing I love about all these events, because even when I meet someone and what we do at FIO may not be a need for them, and vice versa, there's always everybody's willing to connect, exchange info, because what I see play out months later is it could be, I know someone that you could talk to, or they know someone that I can talk
exactly.
to.
Yeah, no. And so for the we're having you on the show in a more proper way sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Hopefully a lot sooner than later, but I know we are both jam packed. The worst thing after a conference is having to go back and doing almost twice as long amount of work of catching up and making sure all the connections were lost, because everyone connects in every different app. You're like, all right, where did I meet this person? Yeah. Who are they? What do they do?
Yeah, LinkedIn, Telegram,
WhatsApp.
Some don't do that. WhatsApp, yeah.
Signal. And then they come out, someone comes up with some other crazy thing. I made a bunch of new WeChat connections. I haven't used WeChat in forever.
Yeah, same.
But so you went to 20 events. What was one of the coolest things you saw?
So the MetaMask event.
Okay.
MetaMask Builder Spotlight event, I would have to say, was probably one of the better ones. I spent quite a bit of time there. Some of those events I went to, I may have been there 30 minutes. I may have been there an hour. But this one, I was pretty much there most of the day. But what they brought in great programming, amazing food. But then they also had a section for builders. And we recently launched the MetaMask Snap through FIO. Are you familiar with the snaps?
I love the snaps. One of my favorite snap, it was actually the first fat snap that was approved, and that was Wallet Guard.
Okay.
Yeah. And Consensus recently bought Wallet Guard as well.
All right.
So it was a really good thing to see. I want to shout out to This Is a Good Sign. I love when you come up. Unfortunately, not today. We are live in an airport, and we are just trying to break through some stuff real quick. But I will definitely have you up next time. Thank you for coming. This is a good sign. But one of the things I love the Consensus events. They were really good. Were you Joe Lubin and stuff like that talking about globals and stuff like that, and how they're building out this social graph, but you can replace social with any other word that are all monitored, sort of connected on chain. You want to create a web of anything, data, health records, companies, families, friend trees. Sobels are these mutable, immutable piece NFTs almost. They could be represented as NFTs that they're working on Linea.
Yeah.
So some really cool things there. It's joinfio.com/snap.
Now, so you can just actually go to app.fio.net.
Okay.
If you're not familiar with Snaps right now is only available on the web browser, on the browser extension. It's not in mobile yet.
Yep.
There's some complexities there. I know the team's been working on that for a while, but you go there, and from our Fio app where you can register handles and domains, you can now, which it's also a non-custodial wallet.
Mm-hmm.
And for that wallet, we actually use Edge Wallets technology for within there.
Pretty good.
But instead, if the user wants to manage their private key for the Fio app using the MetaMask private key, they can do that. So they can use MetaMask to sign in. That's just the first iteration of the Snap.
Yeah.
Once Consensus launches domain and handle resolution within their app, outside of right now it's only ENS.
Yep.
They're expanding that to multiple others.
Nice.
And that's been in work since Denver. So once they do that, then we'll make a more robust Snap to where you can do everything within the MetaMask wallet.
I use a handful of different snaps. One of my first snap was the wallet card. Second snap was Soulflare.
Yeah, same.
Some really cool snaps have come out, and it was really fun to sort of teach a lot of ETH maxis how that they're like, no, you don't need to download any other wallets.
Yeah,
MetaMask does it all.
Right.
Some new snaps keep coming out.
You can customize that wallet experience, and that's depending on what people want. It's basically like an app store for your wallet, which is great because everybody wants their protocol to be within a wallet, and MetaMask is obviously one of the bigger ones. So instead of having to rely, like a lot of what I do with integrations for us, I have to rely on that wallet team to take our protocol and put it into their wallet.
Yep.
A lot of conversations, a lot of convincing, a lot of showing them the benefits. But with MetaMask, it's like, hey, you want it in the wallet, build it. And that's what I like. And they put a framework out. So I'm hoping that'll expand. You'll see more, especially some of the major wallets do the same thing because each one can enhance the user experience.
Yeah. So ECC main conference, what were some of the other major conference side events, all day events that you went to?
MetaMask was the only one that was really all day. Everything else, well, I did spend a little bit of time at the decentralized AI event.
Yeah,
that was a good one. There was Real World with IoTech, so it was like a DPN event.
Yep.
IoTechs are some partners of ours, so I had to go stop by there, and that was an amazing venue, amazing programming, everything. And then I think that's really, yesterday I just really stopped. The only one I stopped by yesterday was Bitcoin Hub. I pretty much played tourist the rest of the day. Around, I heard you
ate a lot of waffles.
A lot of waffles, yeah.
All right.
I actually went to the Chocolate Museum, and you may not know this, but in the Chocolate Museum is going through the history of chocolate making. And many, many years, hundreds of years ago, cocoa beans were used as currency. And so I wonder if, maybe we should look into that or tokenize some cocoa beans to make it.
Tokenized cocoa beans.
Yeah. I'm a chocolate lover, so man,
I love chocolate. Yeah. White chocolate all day long. It's not real chocolate, but it's still really good.
So I learned at that museum that it's actually, it doesn't have the cocoa mass. It has the cocoa butter that's created. Yeah. So technically, same way. I like dark chocolate is my favorite. White chocolate is my second.
Okay.
And needless to say, I did have waffles with
chocolate
dark and white chocolate on it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So other than that, one of the big things that everyone talked about here in Brussels was like how unsafe it was for a lot of people, or how a lot of people felt unsafe. And like I literally, like, people were asking me if I would come be their bodyguard. I'm 6'3", you're 6'4", you're taller than me.
Right around there.
Yeah. Anyone ask you to be their bodyguard?
No, but I don't know if it's my side. I didn't feel unsafe at any point.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Louisiana. I live in a town right outside of New Orleans. I spent a lot of time in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's safe to say that Brussels is safer than New Orleans. So for me, I didn't notice anything. And I walked, and I know there was a lot of talk. I don't wear your crypto gear everywhere, but I literally for those that you can see both my wrists now,
I walk around with all my badges on. I'm my backpack with NFTs. I got people honking, driving by. That your NFT, bro? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yeah. And I'm walking around 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock, 10 p.m., all over, or the two wheels of death, as I like to call them. They are so much fun. Yeah. Same thing. But I want to say this: in a huge cities already have crime.
Yeah.
When you drop 15,000 people in it, they're going to be part of that percentage. Unfortunately.
Well, you got to be smart. I mean, there's certain areas that I would not walk around at night because you could tell, just like you can in other cities.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not best to walk by myself down this way, but this public area where everybody is, you stay within there. And if you want to go to those other areas, either Uber or bring other people.
If you find me at a crypto event and you want to walk somewhere, I will always be your body friend.
Same. Yeah.
Same. You got two friends now at your next crypto event. I personally love IRL events. We're going to wrap this up because this is a quick bite and we're going to get ready. I think we got 10 minutes till they start getting us ready for some stuff.
Yeah.
But IRL events, I think, is where it's at.
That I tell people all the time, you need to get out to those events. So I got into the space in 2016, but I was isolated in terms of everybody I knew was online and never met anybody really in person. And in 2018, when the market started crashing, that was when I decided I need to go out and see these events. And that's what really built my belief in this industry, built my belief in what the future really holds and not just listening to what the media is telling you.
Yeah.
And some of the networking that was done then has led to me eventually over time holding my own events, working in the space. And so if people want to, they really need to connect with the community and get out to those events. And even if you go, there was people that were out here in Brussels without even a ticket to the main conference, the ECC. And there's so many side events. Yeah. There's so many side events that you can go to. And same thing, like in a couple of weeks in Nashville with Bitcoin, there's a lot of people that aren't even going to the Bitcoin conference, but there's so many side events.
And that's a conversation for another day of whether or not side events are taking away from the main event.
I actually, on a call the other day, it was a networking group. They were asking about ECC, and I gave that thing. I said, it's a balancing act because if the side events take too much away from the main conference, eventually the main conference doesn't feel as profitable, then they'll go away and then there'll be no draw. And so where are the side events going to go? Because the biggest thing is so many people are coming in town for that. So you got to find that balance.
Yep.
And I think that's what that's really going to take people doing side events and the conference organizers to work together. Because like say if ECC, I'm not saying this is the case, but say ECC doesn't draw enough of a crowd and they stop having it, well then that's one less chance for everybody to get together at all those side events too, because nobody's going to be flying in for anything.
All right. I agree with you totally. The way we end this show, as always, is with final thoughts and words of wisdom before I tell the best, worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet.
Oh, man.
Final thoughts, word and wisdom, 10 seconds.
Words of wisdom is, I just say don't listen to the media. Make sure to connect with the community. IRL events, large ones, small meetups.
Yeah.
And find out what's really happening because there's a lot and
there's a lot going on. Our words of wisdom are always the same. A closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth, meaning if no one knows you're looking for opportunity can never come knocking. If opportunity does come knocking and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. Yeah. And with that, we end with the greatest, worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet. Are you ready for this?
Ready for it, man.
All right. Knock, knock.
Who's there?